first of all, let me just say, you'll have to forgive the state of me. I blew my nose this morning, and I blew my nose so violently, I sneezed, and blew my nose at the same time, and I did it so violently, I shot my hand up to my face and I cut my nose with my nail, just sliced it. So, apologies for that. Okay, so this video, it's about, let's get straight into it, it's about, what do you think? What do you honestly think about my little stunt when I went down to the Royal Mint? There's been a lot of talk, and I've heard a lot of videos where coin tubers and so on have said about rinsing the 10p's out of the tills at the Mint. And I've heard loads of people talk about, yeah, it was Ian's idea. I did it as well, but it was Ian's idea, right? So it's almost like, in a way, I've got to blame for it. And in some ways, I've got to blame for it, because I've had people out there that have been right angry, really angry, that I did that I went backwards and forwards to the tills, and even more angry that I got other coin tubers to do it, and I told them what to do, and they got away with loads. And I wonder if people have looked at the side that I saw in a flash on the Friday afternoon when I went down there. Now, I told you I've got some kind of, I don't know, I'm on the spectrum somewhere with this Asperger's and all the rest of it. Don't understand it too well, but I do understand I'm on a scale somewhere. And I understand that my mind goes in a way sometimes. Now, when we went down there on a Friday afternoon, and I made it my business on that Friday afternoon. It's the first time I'm there. I'm going to reconnoitre. I'm going to look at everything that's in there. I'm going to check the shop out. I'm going to talk to the staff and find out what's what. Anyway, and I was a bit hungry, and I bought a bit of chocolate. And I went to the till with this bit of chocolate to pay for it, and I queued up behind somebody. And when that person had finished, they got change from the till, and I saw gleaming, brand new, gleaming A to Z 10p's in the tray in the till. Now, instantly, my mind, like a computer, has gone poof. And instantly I've gone, well, that can't be right. How's that possible? It's not possible. Because, I'll tell you why it's not possible. Because the Royal Mint, have released the figures of the 2018 A to Z 10p's that they have put into circulation. Now, I'm emphasising that. They have released the figures before I went down there, before any of these coin tubers went down there. They released the figures of how many A to Z 10p's that they have put into circulation. Now, do you agree with that statement or not? Let's start with that one first of all. Did they make that declaration before me and Bungle and Christopher Collects and Absolute Coins and Total Coins and Caledonian Coins and Andy in the Cupboard and Matt's Coins and My Family Collects and all of these people, and Steve Fraser, Dragon Lord Coins, Scott Donaldson, Ali Womble, all of these people, and there's more I've forgotten, I know, and I apologise, but all of these people, before we all went down to the Mint, before that day, did they or did they not release the figures to say that they had put 10,000 of each letter into circulation? Now, that's the question I would ask you, first and foremost. Did they or did they not say that? If you agree that they said that, then, and you're one of these people that are perhaps not too happy with me, hold on, have a think, just for a sec. If you believe and you agree that I'm right in that statement, that they made the declaration of how many they've put into circulation before any one of us went down to Llantrisant, however you call it, no disrespect to the Welsh, then how could there possibly be one single solitary A to Z coin in the till? If the Royal Mint have made the coins and sent them out on the lorry, all of them, all of the ones they've made, they haven't kept any back, they haven't cherry picked, they haven't kept some back in order to make their products more sellable in the shop. They've sent every single one to where they're supposed to go. And then, as the lady said to me, the manager or manageress of the Royal Mint Experience looked me in the eye and told me point blank that the Royal Mint goes down the post office and has their bags delivered like anybody else, like any other business. They have not got a store of A to Z 10p's out the back that they're bringing through. They have not got that. Absolutely, point blank, they have not got that, the manageress of the Royal Mint Experience tells me. In a one-to-one conversation, not on the phone, sitting across the table from each other. Very nice lady, no disrespect against the lady. Lovely lady to talk to, lovely, polite, lovely and professional. Absolutely lovely and professional. Excuse me, apart from the point where she looks me in the eye and tells me that they get their coin like everybody else. Now, I'm 56 years old. Probably twice the age of that lovely lady. I've been around a bit. And, you know, I can smell when I smell it. And I knew that wasn't right. And the evidence in front of my eyes tells me that that can't be right. There is no way on earth that the Royal Mint have just, by a stroke of luck, managed to find delivery of however they get their coin for their tills in the Royal Mint Experience, because it is a separate business under the law and all the rest of it. It's a separate business, so therefore it shouldn't really have favouritism as a business, because it is a separate entity. It is no different a business to my business or any other business. Shouldn't have favouritism. So, you see where I'm going with this? It was declared that every single one of those coins had entered circulation. 210,000 of each of these letters have entered circulation. Well, that's not true. Because me and the other coin tubers took thousands out of that till. Over that weekend, we took thousands out of that till. Well, that's thousands. So that's not 210,000 of each one then, is it? That may be 209,000 of each one, or 208,000 of each one that's actually gone into circulation, or 200,000 of each one. How many of each one have they kept back? Because they were coming out with bags and bags and bags and bags and bags of brand new 10p's. Now, anybody watching this video, and I totally understand and appreciate, I am Marmite. You either get an instant dislike to me, don't like that taste, or you might say, oh, I wonder what this guy's got to say. I get that. I totally understand I have that effect on some people, and that's fine. I love it that people have different opinions. It's great. Whatever opinion you've got, all I'm asking you to do is the maths. Just get a pen and a bit of paper and do some maths. We took thousands and thousands and thousands that weekend between the lot of us. You know, I mean, I could think of two people that took 1,000 on their own. I took close to 500. So, you know, it just goes to show you, if you add those figures up, how many coin tubers, how many people were there that weekend, and once the word got around how many people did do that, they took hundreds and hundreds and hundreds each, and they took thousands and thousands and thousands between them. Now, how could they have taken a single solitary A to Z 10p coin from that till on the postcard thing, buying postcards at 50p each, giving them £1 and getting 5 10p's back in the change, and then going and buying another postcard and taking that up to the till and paying for with £1 and getting 5 10p's change, and then go and buy another postcard and take it up to the till? I mean, at the end of the day, they still managed to sell, you know, hundreds of postcards. But how is that possible to take that many 10p's out of a till that they actually look you in the face and tell you don't exist, and we're all taking them out? Now that's thousands that came out for that weekend. What about the days beforehand? What about every single day beforehand, and what about every single day after? Even now, today, at the time of making this video, they've got A to Z 10p's in the till. That is thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of A to Z 10p's that you have been told have been put into circulation, when in actual fact they're being used to entice people into their shop to buy more product, because they can give you the change in A to Z 10p's. Now, depending on where you value these 10p's, if you value them at £3 each, let's see, if you go in and buy a brand new package coin for £10 and you manage to get 5 10p's in your change that are worth £3 each, then you can get £15 for the 10p's, which pays for your packaged coin. How good is that? It's brilliant, isn't it? It's fantastic. So if you can get 5 A to Z 10p's per transaction in your change, then depending on how you value the coin, some people value them at £3 each, some people value them at £5 each now, some people value them more. So multiply 3 by the price that you value the coin at, not me, you. If you value it at £2 each, that's 10 quid. If you value them at £5 each, that's 25 quid. And then you look at any product in their shop and deduct that amount off the product. You get your 5 10p's in your change, you go and you sell those 10p's, and that's money off or a free product, depending on what price you paid. If you paid £15 for product, you've got it for free if you've sold the 10p's. If you've got it for £10, if you go and buy a brand new Stephen Hawkins for £10 off them, and you get 5 10p's in your change, well, then you sell them for 15 quid, say, you've got a free Hawkins and you've made a £5 profit. And they've tapped into that idea. They're not silly. They've tapped into that creative marketing idea, and that is why they've got such a backstop out the back, because they are looking after their own shop. Now, a lot of you might go, well, what's wrong with that? I'll tell you what's wrong with that. I'll tell you 2 reasons that's wrong with that. One, the Royal Mint has become a limited company, and therefore these separate business arms become separate business entities under the law. And then once you go down that route, there's not supposed to be any favouritism. You're not supposed to look after yourself. Certainly not in the way that they're doing it. Not in the way that you can actually tell people that you've put 210,000 of each one into circulation, when in actual fact you've got several 100,000 just sitting there that you're going to use personally yourself. I don't know a business that could fail to make money if they could do that kind of tricks. If they could print the money and then use that money to give away in their change for the products that are purchased in their shop, making the products in their shop more desirable, making more and more people want to walk in that shop and buy those products and have the Royal Mint experience. Go and get the Royal Mint experience. What's that? 20, 25 quid if you include the strike your own, somewhere around that. Get 5 10p's in your change, and you've paid for your Royal Mint experience by selling those 10p's. So now they will do more Royal Mint experiences. They will sell more of this, they will sell more of that. The cafe was under instructions to only give 2 10p's in the change. So now the cafe will sell more cakes and more tea and more coffee, and so on and so forth. And the amount of income that comes in from all of the sale of the cafe and the products in the shop goes through the roof. Shareholders for the private enterprise are delighted, over the moon, because somewhere along the line, with a private company, someone's making money. If no one's making money, then it's a charity. And if it's got a community interest at heart, well, then it becomes not a limited company, but it will become, what's the word of that other one? Oh, I've forgotten it now, but there is another one. And that means it's for the community, which I had once. So I know what that's about. Limited companies are about making the company and the shareholders money. Whereas the next one, which is to do with the communities, it's not a limited company. It's on a similar principle, but it's in the middle between a limited company and a charity. And in that one, you make money for the company, you make money for the shareholders, and you make money for your community benefit interest. What you've got here is a situation where they're making the 10p's and the 50p's and £2 and anything else. What they're making, they're keeping a certain amount of them back, which to me means that in effect, that's almost theft. Because if they're contracted to put 210,000 into circulation, and let's say they keep 10,000 back, then have the government not paid for that 10,000? Yeah, so that made you wince, didn't it? That was the door. That was an opportune moment for the door to go. Theft. Well, use your loaf. Use your logic. You work it out. Don't just rely on what I'm saying and then go, oh, Ian's talking a load of old pony, or oh, Ian's... Work it out yourself. Think about it. They've made 210,000 of each letter, and it wasn't just one letter that was coming through those tills. It was bags and bags and bags of different letters. So they've saved thousands and thousands and thousands that they've kept in storage behind them, right? That they can now put through their tills to help rinse a nice bit of product, right? Okay, follow that. So that means then that 210,000 of each letter has not got on a lorry. 210,000 did not go on a lorry. It did not go to a cash centre. It did not go to wherever it goes before it goes into a Securicor van and ends up delivered to the post offices and the banks. It did not go there. It's supposed to go there, but it did not go there. It can't. It's impossible, because either they've held some back or they've made more. It can't be anything else, can it? What else can it be? They've either held some back or they've made more. Well, if they've held some back, they've not delivered the amount that they have been contracted to deliver into the public domain. So what did they do? Did they make that up with, say they kept back 10,000 of each letter, for example. This is example, right? So now it's like, oh, we're going to nick 10,000 of each letter. So what we'll do is we'll chuck in a load of old stock that we've got sitting in the warehouse, maybe a load of 16s. Because all of a sudden, all of us have started to see bags and bags and bags and bags and bags of 2016 come out and hit the streets. Loads of them. Where they come from? So they've either done that, in which case they haven't stolen anything because they've still supplied 210,000 10p's in that instance, but they haven't supplied 210,000 of a letter. In that instance, they've supplied 200,000 and 10,000 rubbish. So are you getting this? Are you understanding a little bit? Just work it out for yourself, please. Because the Royal Mint Experience is a separate business entity. So how is that separate business entity getting tens of thousands of A to Z letters to fill its till? And every time they make a new 50p, it suddenly appears in the till. Every time they make two, it suddenly appears in the till. What is all that about? You know, someone is earning money from this. Thank you, Logan. Someone is earning a lot of money for this. And the reason I say someone is earning money from this is because a private enterprise is about profit. It's not about doing good. Doing good is not a private enterprise. There are social enterprises, and there are all sorts of variations of company setups in order to do good for the community. A private limited company of any description is only set up to make money. So they are making money and making money very easily by flouting the rules. And they're convincing the employees that what they're doing is right, and so the employees are just blindly doing it all. You know, and I'm quite principled, so I think, you know, I think I might want to make a stand and go, no, I'm not going to be involved in that, thanks. But anyway, so there you have it. So it's not just about, now I've proved all of this because I saw that in an instant on that Friday when I was in there, because I realised those 10p's should not be in that till. Where have they got them from? I know it's the mint, but they shouldn't have them because they've just told us all that they put 210,000 of each one on a lorry and put it into circulation. Well, it hasn't gone into circulation if it's in the till. And then I wanted to find out how many they had. And what was the best way to find that out? Best way to find that out, once I realised, okay, I can get 5 coins per transaction, because she let that slip when I bought the chocolate, and I heard her talk to somebody else first, and then I bought the chocolate. I said, oh, can I have some of them 10p's? She said, only a maximum of 5 per transaction. So I was like, oh, okay, thank you. So then I had a little walk around the shop. And my mind went going, and I went and had a sit down, and I had to think about it, and I thought, no, you've got to be... So then I started buying postcards, and I started getting more and more 10p's, and every single 10p coming out of that till was an A to Z. Now, here's another reason why it's impossible to swallow. I've not spoken to a coin tuber yet privately that has swallowed any of this, because like me, and they've said the same thing as I said to that lady on the day. There is no way that what you're telling me is true. There's no way that what you're telling me is possible. Wherever you're going to buy your coin, every one of us, we want to know which post office you're using. We want to know what bank you're using, because all of us, every single one of us, we want to go where you're going. If you're going and buying your coin ordinarily like anybody else, like any other business, with no favoritism, no special treatment, if you're doing that and you're going to a post office or a bank, please tell us which one it is, because we all want to go to that bank, because every single one of us know that it is impossible to go in and guarantee getting one bag of A to Zs, let alone tens of thousands. But she wouldn't tell me where they go, obviously, because they're coming from there. So you need to make up your own mind, but that's why I did what I did. And then I made a point of saying to myself, okay, we need to see how many they've got. So I went round telling everybody. I'm a businessman at the end of the day. Why would I go and tell all of my competition, all of these people that are coin tubers, all of these people that want A to Z, why would I go round and let them all and tip them all the wink and say, here, Bungle, if you go over and do this, this is what you're going to get. Here, Andy in the cupboard, if you go over and do this, this is what you're going to get. Here, Scott, if you go over and do this, this is what you're going to get. Steve, if you go over there and do this, this is what you're going to get. And then they all started talking to other people and passing all the message around. And I went up and I did my rinsing. And boy, did I watch. Did I watch. Did I stand there at the side in different places and just watch people go up and get 10p after 10p after 10p after 10p out of the till. A situation that every single business owner out there knows is impossible to happen in an honest, clean route by going to your bank, ordering a load of 10p's and actually getting that. Every business owner out there knows that that is rubbish. It is impossible. Every coin tuber out there knows that that is rubbish and it's impossible. So, the way I see it, Marmite, you can take this one or two ways. You can take this in the way that some people have taken it and gone, Ian is bang out of order for what he's done. He went down there, he rinsed their tills, he got all the A to Zs, he got everybody at it. It's out of order because all of us people out here that want to get these coins can't get them because of people like Ian and whatever. You could take that view. I wouldn't take that view, but you could take that view. You could take another view and you could go, oh, thanks Ian. Thanks to all the other coin tubers, because I'm now doing my own maths. And my own maths tells me if all of you coin tubers went in and rinsed them tills to the amount of coins that obviously got rinsed, well, where did they come from? And how many more have they got? Because this ain't about the ones that we had. What we had was minuscule to what they had still there, which means they haven't delivered them. which means they haven't gone to your banks and post offices all over the country. There are tens, if not hundreds of thousands of A to Z 10p coins there in their warehouse in great big massive containers, just sitting there for their tills in order to make more money for their tills. That's the reason why, pardon me, they're not in your bank, in your town. And yes, along the way you have people like me and post office workers and people that are getting more and more and more and more clued up nowadays to what money is worth, and they're seeing it come in, and of course they get it first. They're there, you're not there, they're there. You got that to deal with. So these are coming out of the system by the entire bag. There's 1,000 coins in a bag, and they are coming out a bag at a time. A bag at a time, a bag at a time, a bag at a time, they're coming out. In the Royal Mint's case, they're coming out 100 bags at a time. Yeah, we're not sending them out, we'll have them for our shop. Because this is just a license to print money on top of a license to print money on top of a license to print money. It is an unbelievable win-win situation. First of all, we're getting paid to make the money. Secondly, we've got our own business where we flog the stuff and we make an even bigger profit, massive profit, and we undercut all of our retailers and dealers out there. And then we've got this other product that we've been paid to make that we can now give in our change that's going to entice people to come in and get more. And it works. I'm going back on the 25th of January. And a load of us are going to go back, and I bet people are going in there today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and you're all rinsing 10p's out of tills. You know, I'll throw a challenge down to all of you. I'll throw a challenge down to everybody. If you have rinsed their tills for 10 coins or for 1,000 coins, leave a comment. Leave a comment and let people know, yes, you're one of the people that have been into the Royal Mint and you have got these 10p's out of their tills. Let people know that I'm not talking total rubbish. Because if I'm talking rubbish, none of you will comment. Here's a challenge. Don't comment. If you haven't taken 10p's out of their till, don't comment. And let's see how many people actually comment and say, yeah, I took 10p's out of their till. Let's see how many of you there is. Because that's how many customers they've been able to give the 10p's to that they've taken, stolen, or made extra. And remember, we've got it in writing from the Royal Mint that they can make extra of any coin within 3 years. So the mintage value that you've got of 210,000 does not exist. It does not exist. What does that mean? It means that every single 10p is going to be as valuable as a Kew Gardens one day. And I have just spent the last week or two rinsing all them 10p's out of you people, as many as I can. Because I've been holding auctions where you can bid in the number of coins, 1 coin, 2 coin, 3 coins, but what you're bidding in was A to Z 10p's. And I got loads of you and loads of you and loads of you bidding, and you got great deals, there's no doubt about that. I sold a gold proof Peter Rabbit for 575 coins, that's £57.50. There's no doubt everybody got great deals. But I got 575 equivalents of a Kew Gardens. In my mind, in my business mind, I was paid 575 Kew Gardens for that gold proof. So many people out there think Ian's off his cake and he's given away a gold proof for next to nothing. No, he hasn't. You add up yourself what you think another Kew Gardens equivalent is going to be worth per coin, and I got 575 of them for 1 gold coin. I did all right. There's no way these will go down in value. I've told everybody these coins are going to go 25 quid, 50 quid. In my lifetime, and I'm 56, you will see these coins change hands for between 50 and 100 pounds for these 2 years. Next year they might make hundreds of millions, but there'll only ever be a set amount made for 18 and 19. And even then, we have proved, the Great British Coin Hunt has proved that those mintage figures are wrong. The mintage figures are porcupines. They're not real, they're not correct. They can't possibly be correct. If they are correct, then they've made extra. Because you can't, it's got to be one or the other. So please, I've gone on long enough, leave a comment. But now you know why I did what I did at the Royal Mint. Yeah, you know why I was. Some people said, "Why are you daft enough to let other people know? Why don't you just take all the 10p's?" I was daft enough to let everybody know because I had a little plan going at the time, and I wanted to suck it and see how it panned out. And I was right. I was right with what I thought on that Friday afternoon. Immediately, I was right, and the whole weekend proved it. So those are my thoughts, but I'm sure you got yours. So I wouldn't be annoyed with me for what I did. You might want to say thank you for bringing the whole thing to light. I knew what I was doing and it all worked out. And then after that, I did the auctions because I decided I'd get all the 10p's off all these people that went out and went rinsing. And some of them, I must admit, some of them, they've been hard to rinse of their 10p's, but I've managed to wheedle them out of them. Some of them have been a bit shrewd and, you know, and wouldn't entertain letting any of them go. But, you know, there you go. There's that from the beginning to end, from the Friday afternoon to now, and the story of the A to Z 10p's, why I rinsed them, why I told my competitors on those couple of days, get in there and get some for yourself, and I didn't keep it to myself because I wanted to see how many they'd get, and why I set up the 10p auctions to then get the 10p's off those people, which all I've done essentially is swap stock for loads of 10p's, and every 10p I've got is as rare as a Kew Gardens in its own right. So, and even rarer now, because now I've proved that the mintage figures are completely wrong, completely and utterly wrong. But, you know, you believe what you believe and I believe what I believe, and I do care about the coin collecting community to a point where I put myself on the line for it. I do care about the coin community. This is not about damaging the coin community. This is about caring for the coin community and caring for our British way of doing things. We don't like to be shafted. Just clean business. That's all it is. Thanks very much for taking the time to watch this video. Please do leave a comment, and I don't mind if you think differently to me. Please leave a comment.